So, as I always mention, listening to the Dhamma is the greatest listening in the world. There may be various kinds of practices, but no practice can be compared to the practice of Dharma. Why? So it brings happiness and peace for this life. It brings happiness and peace for many lives to come. Right? Therefore, listening to the Dhamma and practice of Dhamma, they are the greatest. So be happy. Today too we are going to do that. Starting today's session, here you have the summary. You have a summary of all the last 6 classes. Now we are going to start. Let's pay our respect to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. First, we are going to chant the homage chantings. Arehang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantam Abhivademi. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namassami. Sat, sat, sat. Supanipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Sat. Now we will observe the 5 precepts. So everyone together, please recite Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. This part 3 times to observe 5 precepts.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Panatipata Viremani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Adinādāna Viremani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Kāmesu Micchācārā Viremani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada. Veramani. Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Suramire. Majjapama. Dāna. Veramani. Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sīlena sugating yanti. Sīlena bhoga sampada. Sīlena nibbutting yanti. Tasma sīlaṃ visodhayati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now let's recite the stanzas to pay our homage to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Iti piso bhagavā araham samma sambuddho viññācarana sampanno sugato lokapindu anuttaro purisa dhammasārati sattā deva manussanam buddho bhagavati swakato bhagavata dhammo samnittiko akaliko ehipassiko opanaiko paccattaṃ veditammo viññūhiti supanipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho ujupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho ñāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho sāmicipatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho yadidam cattari purisa yugani adhe purisa pukkala esa bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho āhumeyo pāhumeyo nakhineyo anjali karaniyo antaram puñyaketam lokasati. Sadhu. The summarization of Buddha's teaching, and then let's pay our respect to the parents together. Samme pāpasse akarinam gusalase upasampannam sacitte pariyodapanam etam buddhane sasanam. Homage to parents. Anante gune sampanna janiti janeka uho maiham mata pito nampe pane vandami saderam etene sajje vajjene sada sutti bhavantu me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now as usual, I'm going to invite all the divine beings. According to tradition, I will chant the stanza to invite all the divine beings and the other beings to listen to the Dhamma. And then I will chant once again Namo Tassa 3 times. Then I will introduce today's topic in Pali. Please pray. Lamanda Jangavalisu Atra Gachantu Devatam Radhamang Munirajase Sodhantu Sakkemokkadam Dhamma Savanengalo Ayam Bhadanta Dhamma Savanengalo Ayam Bhadanta Dhamma Savanengalo Ayam Bhadanta Namo Tassa Bhagavano Arahato Dhamma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavano Arahato Dhamma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavano Samma Sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, so now this is the time for meditation. Since last time we practiced loving kindness meditation, this time we are going to practice breathing meditation. So breathing meditation, Buddha, when he had the time to rest, he specifically practiced 2 kinds of meditation. So first meditation technique is Anapanasati meditation. So Buddha practiced Anapanasati meditation, that means breathing meditation, when he had the leisure time. Second meditation technique that he practiced was walking meditation. Buddha practiced walking meditation, so during time that he got a leisure, and at the same time, if he had to walk longer, so if he had a long journey to go before that, so there were people, the Bhantes and the nuns and the people, devotees, they could see Buddha walking. So in front of his kuti, his room, for hours. So that's a sign that Buddha is getting ready for a long journey. Okay? So once in a while, let's practice walking meditation too. But mainly we'll practice, most of the time we'll practice breathing meditation and loving kindness meditation. So we'll take turns. So one day loving kindness meditation, the other day breathing meditation. Right? Today since we practiced loving kindness meditation last time, this time we'll practice breathing meditation. So in breathing meditation, what you'll do is you'll observe the breath. When the breath is coming in, be fully aware. When it is going out, please be fully aware. So when the breath comes, don't go with the breath all the way in. Instead, you have to stop your focus at the end of your nostrils. At the end of your nostrils. So when the breath comes, please be fully aware that it is coming in, and stop your focus at the end of your nostrils and wait very patiently. Developing patience, wait very patiently until it comes back. When it comes back, it will touch the very same area and will go out. So then focus on its characteristics too. Some certain breathings will be gross. Certain breathings will be soft. Certain breathings will be long. Certain breathings will be short. Accordingly, just keep on focusing and observing the nature of breath as it is. Now it is coming in, now it is going out, it is gross now, it is soft now, it is long now, it is short. Like that, keep on observing the breath as it is, right? Then, so keep on being aware about the present breath. Don't compare any breath to the last one. Even the incoming breath is different from the outgoing breath, right? And one breathing only happens just once. So it is unique and it cannot be compared to another breath, right? So just keep on observing the breath and okay. Now please keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. Close your eyes, not very tightly, not very softly, to the level that you can so divert the outside attentions. You are completely focused on you, right? Your breath. Take a deep breath, let it go. Take another deep breath, let it go. Take another deep breath, let it go. Now calm down. Now calm down and relax completely. Now please pay your entire attention to your breath and keep on observing the breath. May your meditation be very, very successful. Very, very successful. Please start the meditation right now. Rakantu sammedivata samme buddhanubhavine samme dhammanubhavine samme sanghanubhavine sada tutti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now everyone very calmly and slowly, please open your eyes. Let your whole body to relax. And please say 3 times together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Would you concentrate well? How about Mr. Carl?
That's great.
Yes. So Then how about Mr. Victor?
Wonderful.
Yeah. So then you can have a 5 minutes break. So if you want to drink some water, you can drink some water. And if you want to walk a bit, you can walk a bit. In 5 minutes, we are going to start with Dhamma teaching. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa bhāvo saccang ca sippang ca etam Maṅgala muttamang Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, so today we are going to discuss the 7th one. Many weeks have gone. Many weeks have gone after sharing the Dhamma. So that means 6 factors. We have shared Dhamma about 6 factors. So we are so thankful to Miss Kathy. She is the one who contacted me here. And that's how I got the opportunity to share Dhamma with everyone of you. And I was so glad to meet Mr. Victor here. I knew him for a long time too. And I was so fortunate to meet Mr. Khan. And we had to be grateful to Mr. Bhanu. He's the one who is right. For the 8th week, we are going to share Dhamma, precious Dhamma, which can change anybody's life. So, Dharma is wonderful. It changed murderer Angulimala to a saint. Angulimala was killing so many people. But he changed Angulimala into a saint and arahant. So Ambapali and so ladies like night ladies like Ambapali became arahants because of Dhamma. And so Kisa Gotami, Patachara and Addakasa, such kind of ladies who faced various tragedies in life. They lost their children, they lost, sometimes Patachara lost all her family. So she was all alone. She lost her parents, siblings, husband and children. All of them. So they could console themselves because of the Dhamma. And later on they changed by practice and attained their life. So, and those are examples from the Buddhist time. But there are so many examples from this particular period. Dharma transcends all kinds of time periods. It doesn't matter during whether it's the Buddhist time or 100 years or 200 years or 500 years or 1000 years or 2000 years later or many thousand years so in the future. So if you practice the Dhamma well with the right understanding, it is going to reward you immensely. Right? We all are from various backgrounds. We are from various countries. But all of us, regardless of our ethnic background, we get benefits if we practice it with the right understanding. Dhammo have rakkati dhammachari. The very Dharma that we practice. The very Dharma that we practice will protect us. That's what Buddha said. So that's what which will benefit. It doesn't matter whether you are from Asia or Africa or Europe or Americas. If you practice well, that's what will happen. Buddha once said, so in the sea, from wherever in the sea that you take water and drink, it will only taste the saltiness. Just like that, in the Dhamma, let it be in the beginning, or in the middle, or at the end. So it will only give you one taste. Dharma gives only one taste at the end, from wherever you catch. So it will give the taste of freedom, taste of enlightenment, taste of Nibbana. So that's why Buddha said, in all kinds of tastes in the world, you will encounter multiple tastes. But among all those tastes, taste of Dhamma excels all kinds of tastes. So now we are getting ready to listen to the taste. We are going to enjoy the taste of Dhamma. We are going to listen to that precious Dhamma. So getting ready, everyone. So concentrating, giving your entire concentration, giving your entire focus. Please say it 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now calm down. Let all the life-related stuff go away. Right? You can think about those things later on. Right now, give your entire focus to the teaching of Dhamma and try to understand the Dhamma. And later on, try to adapt it into your life. Right? So we are going to discuss the 7th blissful factor related to Maṅgala Sutta. The first factor that we discussed was avoiding the company of fools. So Buddha taught us not associating foolish people is a blessing, and associating the wise people is a blessing, and paying respect to the people that are due respect is a blessing. That's what Buddha taught in the first stanza of Maṅgala Sutta. And in the second stanza, Buddha taught being able to live in suitable places is a blessing. If you live in such kind of a place where there is where there are political turbulences and various kinds of other difficulties, then you have to focus on those things other than focusing on the Dhamma, right? So that's why Buddha told us living in a suitable place, a calm place, good, comfortable place is a big blissful fact. And then, so having done good deeds from the past, that is also blessing. If we didn't have past good karmas, all of us wouldn't have met this precious Dhamma. We met this Dhamma in various kinds of phases of our lives because we had past positive energy that we accumulated from past good actions. That's a blessing. And then, to be in the right path, to be able to lead the life in the right path, that is also a blessing. That means having a controlled self which goes in the practice of the Dhamma. So that's a blessing. Right? So these are the main six factors which bring the greatest will bring greatest blessings. So now the seventh one. Bahu Satchanche. Bahu Satchanche Etang Maṅgala Sutta. So multiple knowledge is a blessing. So one ancient sage says, the wise spend the life with the enjoyment of learning Dhamma and material subjects Sāstra. So there are two kinds of knowledges. Multiple knowledges. Knowledge means it's about two kinds of knowledges. Number one, first kind of knowledge is Dharma. Knowledge of Dharma. Second kind of knowledge is Sāstra. What is Dharma? Spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge, that means wisdom. Then Sāstra means the knowledge about material things. So, material knowledge. If you learn science, mathematics, carpentry, and various kinds of agriculture, botanics, all those things, they are so material knowledges, material subjects. So there are these two kinds of knowledge that someone can obtain. So in Pali we call them Dhamma and Sattva. In Sanskrit we call them, but the Sanskrit words are the most popular ones, Dharma and Shastra. Right? So then this is wise people. So don't think so the wise person doesn't think so clinging to material stuff will bring temporary pleasure is the right way of enjoying them. Instead, what they do is they spend the life learning the Dharma and practicing the Dharma and learning the other kinds of material, gaining the other kinds of material knowledge. Right? So that's how the wise person spends the life. Material education, Sāstra. Material education, Sāstra, why is that important? Why is it important? So today, if you engage in any occupation, you got that opportunity because of that material knowledge that you had. So there are various kinds of advantages that you can get by having a material knowledge. Let's see what are they. So number one, when we learn when we gain the material knowledge, for an example, science, mathematics, and art, and then after that, architecture. What else? History. What else? English. Okay, literature. Biology, chemistry. Yes. Science. They are sciences, right, Mr. Khan? And what else? Finance, very nice. Yeah, commerce, right. Economics, right. So these are knowledges which are considered as material subjects, material knowledge. Right? So having the material knowledge is right? You won't have good this life if you don't have this, right? Number one, the first benefit that you gain by having a material knowledge is, so it teaches us what the current world is like. It gives you the current knowledge about the current world, right? So yeah, so you gain it by reading, by listening. So, by reading you get it, by listening you get it, and then then you get the knowledge, first kind of knowledge, first kind of benefit. So it teaches us what the current world is like, right? And then number two, it creates more employment opportunities. Whatever the employment opportunity that you got it because you had some kind of material knowledge. So I'm not going to ask what your occupation is as a monk, so it is not very applicable for me. But somehow you have an occupation, right? You got it because of your material knowledge. But some people after getting some material knowledge, they stop. But you have to understand, you should not stop learning. You have to keep, so you have to get updates about the very subject that you learn. Anabhyase visanvidya. If you don't update your knowledge, then that knowledge becomes poisonous to you. Because you think you know, but actually you don't know many things, many updates if you stop learning. So anabhyase visanvidya, you have to keep learning. Right? You have to read new books, right? You have to listen to new lectures about the subject that you are into. So that your occupation is related to. So you have to read about it, and you have to get updated knowledge, and then it creates more employment opportunities and secures a better income. Whatever the income that you get it. So because of your material knowledge, right? So Buddha taught several responsibilities of parents towards the children. Number one, people think the main responsibility of a parent is to give a good education. But no, according to Buddha, the first responsibility is to teach them what's wrong. You have to teach them these are the wrong actions, don't do this. That's the first responsibility. Second responsibility is to teach them what is right. These are the right things, so follow these right things. It is Dharma, so practice it. And third responsibility is to give a good education. Why is that? So that they will know about their current world, they will have a good occupation later on, and then they will have a good income, so that they can take care of themselves independently. Parents always don't have to provide, right? So then after that, it helps us to think critically. It helps us to to think critically. Critical thinking is important. Buddha always taught us not to trust anything at once. In Maṅgala Sutta, Buddha taught us to think twice. Buddha taught Kalama. Kalama ma takka hetu, ma naya hetu, ma itikira, ma pitika sampadani, ma nogar, ma samano nogar. Like that, Buddha taught. So don't believe anything because it comes from the generation. Right? Any knowledge that you get from your parents, so you have to use your critical thinking too. Right? If you think that it is wrong, it is harmful for many, if you practice that, so it's harmful for many, it's not beneficial for yourself and the other people, then you should not do that. Critical thinking. So Buddha taught it 2,600 and plus years ago. Okay? So then it teaches us to think critically. So not to believe something at once. If I clarify that Buddha's teaching in Maṅgala Sutta, it says, so ma parampara, don't believe just because it comes from the generation. Right? Ma pitaka sampadani, don't believe anything just because it is in religious texts or in books. Right? So don't believe anything ma takka hetu. So sometimes there is an argument, so even though there is an untruth, if the arguer is good, for an example, there are lawyers who release criminals using their ability to argue, right? So they put the evidences forward in a way that every people start to doubt whether this person has actually done it or not. So out of that confusion, the criminal get a bail, or the criminal is released with honor. Right? That kind of things happen. So then that's why Buddha said not to believe just because it goes with the argument. You have to think well, think deep. So then ma naya, because so you have a particular thinking pattern, and this particular knowledge that you get, it goes along with it. But you have to think twice, so before you consume it, before you so add it into your philosophical life, before you edit it into your knowledge, right? So samano nogar, you should not believe only because thinking that this is a person that I respect, right? Sometimes certain people, even though you respect them, certain ideas that they give may be incorrect. And sometimes you should not, if they don't make sense to you, you have to talk very peacefully and you have to get a solution. You should get a clarification. Right? You should not believe those things at once. Right? Then after that, it improves self-discipline. Right? And so when to obtain a good knowledge, you need discipline. When you obtain that, when you are obtaining the knowledge, automatically you develop a certain amount of discipline with it. Because you can't obtain it if you don't have it. So it helps to improve self-discipline. and it develops cognitive and communication skills. When you go to a gathering, you can stand still, right? Stand upright with respect if you have knowledge, right? You have knowledge. Wherever you go, knowledge is respected. But always make sure, as I mentioned before, to keep your knowledge updated all the time. Read about things, new things, new findings related to the knowledge that you have, right? And then empowers the person. Material knowledge empowers the person. So you are empowered if you have any kind of material knowledge. And then it provides a prosperous and healthy life. It provides you a prosperous and healthy life. Installs a sense of accomplishment. So when you have knowledge, right, you understand, when you have any kind of knowledge, you feel that you accomplished something, right? That's a good thing. So, alright, I know about this, you can say that. Maybe you don't know 100%, but you have a certain knowledge about that. So, you have a sense of accomplishment. That's a good thing. And so material knowledge spreads awareness. Right, Mr. Victor? So it spreads awareness. 1990. Okay? We had Spanish flu. At that time, instead of covering the mouth, people didn't know much about the precautions that they have to take. But 2019, we had COVID-19. Another 19, sorry. It is also related to 90. So 1919, now 2019. So when it came, when COVID-19 came in 2019, we knew many things to take precautions, right? Sanitizer, right? Good mask, and so things like that. We knew certain new things, right? If somebody don't get that updated knowledge, right? If you don't get such kind of updated knowledges, then we won't be able to face the situations well, right? So you can think about situations, incidents that happen at your work. So you couldn't do certain things well because you were lacking of some new knowledge. But some of your young co-workers could do certain things because they knew certain new knowledge. They had some new knowledge. Right? So that's because awareness. It spreads awareness about new things. Then it enhances productivity. It enhances the productivity. Material knowledge, it enhances the productivity. You become productive. And then it offers the opportunity to socialize and network. So when you have knowledge, you can meet and be friendly with the people who have similar knowledge and who are interested in similar passion, right? Similar passions, and so you gain the ability to have new friends, right? So that's a good thing, all right. And then it helps to pursue a passion, and it opens your horizons, right? So it helps you to become a person with open-mindedness. It gives you new experiences. Helps to open your eyes, your horizon. And if you have the material knowledge. So that's why Buddha taught us having Shastra, material knowledge is a blessing. But even though you have material knowledge, it doesn't reckon that you will become a morally good person. So Hitler, I told you before too, Hitler had a lot of engineers who got high education from great universities, very reputed universities in Germany. What they did? So they employed themselves to create new gas chambers that can kill people fast. So what is the use of such kind of education? Right? We have to check the person before you give the knife. If that person is a madman, that person is bound to attack you with the very knife that you give. And if that person is a good cook, that person can use the knife to prepare some delicious meals. Right? So the individual behind that knowledge, material knowledge, is very important. So there was a very clever, very knowledgeable professor in Fremont. Right? He worked in Berkeley University. I think I taught you, right? We talked about that. He planted bombs all around this Bay Area, in Fremont, in Berkeley. I think you might have heard of this incident. He planted bombs, homemade bombs, in trash cans. When people went and opened the trash cans, they exploded. It was a great enjoyment for him. Later he was caught. He was caught, but somehow he had the knowledge to create. But with that knowledge, what he did was creating bombs and killing people. So there are scammers in the world, especially hackers. They have the knowledge about computer science. What they do is they steal the other people's information without their consent. Stealing. So material knowledge is great. They give all those benefits. But the individual spirituality behind that knowledge is very important. That only can be shaped by the Dhamma. Right? So then why spiritual education Dharma is important? Let's see. It teaches what the truth of the world actually is. First, it teaches about the true nature of the world. This teaching teaches us impermanent as impermanent. Nature of suffering, truth of suffering as truth of suffering. And it teaches the no-soulness, right? So selflessness, anatta, nature of anatta as it is. It teaches the Four Noble Truths. It teaches the dependent origination, and so various other such kind of realities as they actually are. They are not truths which are Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, Muslim, or atheist or agnostic. So they are pure truths. Pure truth which is related to this nature. So then it teaches the original truth, ultimate truth, which is related to the birth. And then it teaches what is kusala. It teaches what are the spiritual skills that you need to develop. Loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and then after that sympathetic joy, right? And then after that egolessness, right? And then after that calmness, right? So many things, right? Morality. These are spiritual skills. A person can survive without the material knowledge, but a person might destroy this life and next life if they don't have the knowledge of Dharma. Okay? So, since the other people say if a person doesn't have the knowledge of Dharma, since the other people say that killing is good, that person might follow killing. Right? So that person might practice killing. If the other people say stealing is good, and when that person is convinced, if that person doesn't have the understanding of Dharma, that person will keep stealing. Sexual misconduct and lying, taking intoxicants, all such and so vulgar speech, so separatist speech, all such kind of wrong practices will be practiced by a person if that person doesn't have the knowledge of Dhamma. So knowledge of Dhamma. So if someone has the knowledge of Dhamma, even though you give million or 1 billion or $1 billion, that person won't do that wrong action. Why? That person has developed spiritual skills within to face that. So one story comes into my mind which happened in Sri Lanka, but this is not the time to tell that. We are running out of time. Okay. Another time I'll teach that. Right. Then it teaches what is akusala. What are the wrong things that we should not do? Akusala, negativities. Right? So all kinds of negative actions which cause harm to yourself and to the other people, those are negative actions, which are not beneficial for you and not beneficial for the others. Those are negative actions, akusalas. It teaches what are the akusalas, negativity. And it leads us to unknown reality. So, Dharma, knowledge of Dharma, so it gives us the third eye. We have 2 eyes, but it gives us the third eye. To see things, it gives us the ability to see things penetrating. Right? We see here, if we don't have the knowledge of Dhamma, this is just a water bottle. But if you have the knowledge of Dhamma, you understand. This is something which is made of, which is, this consists atoms, right? Top to bottom, bottom to top, there are atoms. They are continuously rising and passing. Actually, there is, even though we call it a bottle in the constitutional sense, actually there is not a bottle there. Right? So then what happens when someone comes to take this bottle? I don't get angry. Right? I gain the ability to let it go if I don't need. Right? And so no jealousy is intimate. Why? You have the knowledge of Dhamma. When I love it, but when it is broken, right? When it is broken, I don't feel sorrow. I knew this is so breakable, and it passed. Is that the nature of influence? Right? Like that, it leads us to the unknown reality, so that we gain the ability to live the life with harmony. Very important. And it teaches us what to be done to develop inner peace and happiness. This is the path to inner peace and inner happiness, so follow this. And this is not the path to inner peace and inner happiness, don't practice. And it also teaches us how to develop morality with it. See, don't kill, don't steal, don't practice sexual misconduct, don't lie, don't take intoxicants. Like that, it teaches us the moral qualities. Dharma. And then it teaches us concentration. It teaches us breathing meditation, loving kindness meditation, compassion meditation, walking meditation, and many other practices. And it guides us from the starting point to the ending point. And it also teaches us wisdom. It gives us wisdom. These are the Four Noble Truths. This is the Eight Noble Path. This is the dependent origination, Paticcasamuppada. And like that, it gives us the knowledge about reality. It helps us to develop wisdom. That's all. And it leads us to it, finally, the greatest benefit of learning the Dhamma, having the knowledge of Dhamma is, it leads us to attain eternal peace and eternal happiness. That is the greatest benefit that we gain. So that's why Buddha asked us to have the knowledge of Dhamma. If someone has both these knowledges, Dharma and Shastra, so these are the benefits that person might gain. That's why Buddha taught us having these two kinds of knowledge is a blessing. It's a blessing for anybody's life. So don't worry about your age, work hard and try to obtain knowledge. Knowledge about material subjects and knowledge about the most important thing. What is it?
Spiritual knowledge.
Dharma. Right, with that I am going to conclude. So Buddha teaches. To conclude, Buddha teaches. Though he recites the sacred text, that means Dharma text, Tripitaka, but is negligent and does not practice according to the Dhamma, so that person is just like a shepherd, just like a shepherd who take care of someone else's cows. They are not your cows, but you take care of them. But such kind of a person, so here Buddha talks about a monk, but basically Buddha teaches it for everyone. Such kind of person, even though how much knowledge that person does have, then that person won't benefit. But even though you know little about Dhamma, but if you still practice, Buddha teaches us, then it helps us to eradicate all the negativities. It helps us to develop all the positivities and gain the ability to be free from the samsaric suffering and attain clean life. So, please practice. Knowledge is not only to keep in mind, but it is to practice. Okay? So, before we conclude, so I am going to give you maybe today 5 minutes. 5 minutes, not 10 minutes. 5 minutes to ask any question. And I appreciate if you ask questions, and then after that we are going to conclude. Don't keep the questions in mind. You must ask. Kathy, do you have any question? Mr. Bhanu? And how about you, Mr. Khan?
I think you answered the questions as you went on. It started to make a lot of sense. So
Right, so when there is a place that you have to doubt, when you meet a place which doesn't make sense to you, at such times you can doubt. But it doesn't mean you should cling on to the doubt. You have to inquire, right? So human life is not only about doubting. You have to inquire, you have to explore, and you have to understand the right point, right? So the truth about that factor, right? So you have to constantly check, research.
So by doing that, you actually learn how to right thinking and right action and right view. You're able to see that and navigate it a little bit better. It becomes easier through self-inquiry. Right?
Yes, very true, Mr. Khan. That's right. In Maṅgala Sutta, Buddha says, "O monks, so even when I teach you, if there is a place where you find it's doubtful, then you are allowed to doubt. But you should not cling to the doubt. You have to become a Vimansaka, a researcher. You have to research, you have to ask questions, and you have to think again and again on that factor. And then you have to find facts. You have to find facts until it becomes clearer. So Buddha asks us to keep the doubt when it is due, and at the same time we should become a researcher. Right? Anything else, Mr. Khan?
That's where wisdom comes from, right?
Yes.
That's where wisdom and that's really the only way to learn it. I mean, you can read this, but you put it to practice, right? And you got to figure out what really works in your unique world of learning that. But at least you have a teacher, a barometer, to figure out what to learn, what is the real actual meaning that's being conveyed, and how you can make it useful in your life. And then that's how you move the wheel of Dhamma, keeps moving, and it's impermanent, and it goes on from time immemorial. But that's how you
perceive it.
Yeah.
So that's how you perceive it. That's how you consume it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to think again and again. So then you have to research, and then you gain the knowledge. Right, Mr. Khan? Yes. Very nice. So, Mr. Victor?
No, Bhante. It's interesting. This is the first Dhamma talk of a year about Sastra. Because usually all the lecture and Dhamma I listen to, I don't think anyone has ever put an emphasis on learning material knowledge. I find this very interesting. Now, however, I also noticed that through the practice of Dhamma, after a while, it will lead to viraga, which is this passion, right? So wouldn't that contradict?
Sastra is important too, but when you are occupied at that time, you have to stay updated. So if you are not occupied, you can give more time to Dharma, learning Dharma, and little time to Sastra, right? But when you are occupied, at that time you have to give
As a lay person.
Yeah, as a lay person, you have to dedicate some time for Sastra too.
Yeah, because another thought occurred to me, like at Abhayagiri, like Ajahn Kachana, as soon as he's finished with a PhD in physics from UC Berkeley, he decided to ordain and become a monk. And he just finished. He just finished with his degree. So, and then I'm so impressed at that place that I see so many young people that are very intelligent and like in the prime of their life, quite American, right? That just finished school or like super smart and work on like physics paper and they decide to become monk. And they are like only 30 years old and wow, it's like what motivate and drive them, right? But they have so much sexual knowledge and yet they let go of everything and they become a monk.
Because the greatest knowledge is Dharma.
Yes.
So finally, all the Shastra knowledge, so it is only related to this lifestyle.
Yes. Exactly.
And they are just not the original truth.
Exactly.
Right? They are the constant. When it comes to the, so as a conclusion, all those are material truths, right? So truths that they appear to be, but not actual truths. So that truth comes with the knowledge like this is a water bottle, this is a phone. So when you accept these constitutional truths, those truths come with these constitutional truths, but they are not the actual truths.
Yeah.
And the more you gain that knowledge, one disadvantage happens, your ego goes up. And if you are not careful, if you don't have the knowledge of Dhamma, your ego goes up. And then you have the knowledge, but it is not something which brings you peace. Right? So all those things happen. Learning the Dharma is the greatest. Learning material things, that's great, but learning the Dharma is the greatest. Now let's conclude. So one, thank you. Thank you for coming and thank you for listening. So don't worry whether many people come or less people come. You come. You listen. You do. So Buddha kept on teaching, so giving multiple effects. Buddha kept on teaching for only for 5 months at the beginning, right? Kundanya, Vappa, Vadya, Mahanama and Asati. Right? Later on it grew, that's a separate class. So, but still the number of wise people, they are not the majority. So you are wise enough to come to the Dhamma sessions and to practice it and develop in the Dhamma. We are from various countries, but we have the love. We have the good merits, good karma from the past life to come in contact with the Dhamma. I am so blessed. I'm so humbly blessed to share the Dhamma with you. And you are so much blessed to listen to the Dhamma. This is not my Dhamma. This is Buddha's Dhamma. And all of us are blessed to connect with the Dhamma. Right? And then let's wish that we be able to proceed in the Dhamma path and attain real peace, real happiness. Now, sharing merits time. Let's share all these merits with all the divine beings of the temple and all the departed relatives of your generation and among all of us. By the power of the positive energy, may we have long lives with beauty, mental and physical strength, comfort and wisdom. Practicing the Dhamma path, may all of us attain real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. With those thoughts, please consider. Abhivadana Silisse Nichang Vada Pachaino Chattaro Dhamma Vadanti Ayuvanno Sukhang Balam Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Me Vache Ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. May you all be well, may you all be happy, may you all be very peaceful. Sukhi Bhante, Sukhi Bhante, Sukhi. Good night. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be very peaceful. Sukhi Bhante. See you in the next month.